Action.
Would you tell Josh what your name is and how you're related to Lori?
I am Rose Metzger, and I am Lori's aunt. I'm Kathy's sister.
I'm Rose's husband, Chuck.
What do you do for a living, Chuck?
I drive truck.
And Rose?
I'm high school guidance counselor for Cary Schools.
How long have you been married?
You go.
No, you answer this one.
It takes me too long to figure it out. Let's see, Bethany's what, 22?
She's 21.
21. Well, so we've been married 22 years.
How many children do you have?
I have 5. I have 3 by a previous marriage, Brian, Nick, and Jamie, and then Bethany and Scott.
Yes.
Rose, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
And Chuck? What is your favorite color?
Yeah, blue.
We're blue.
We're blue.
Can you tell me what your hobbies are?
I like to do woodworking.
He's made a lot of neat things around our house, so I've benefited by his hobby.
Rose?
I like to read murder mysteries, and I would just like to go on record as saying I have never tried to kill him. He swears I'm looking for the most. In fact, this summer he got bit by a spider, and his legs started to I'm telling you, he accused me of this being the one way that no one would ever believe I would put a spider on and make it bite him. So I'm still looking for the perfect.
It happened in the bedroom, so.
Perfect spot.
Do you have any advice to Josh on how to be a good husband?
Yeah, listen to your wife, because most of the time she'll be right. I'm still learning that, Josh, but, once in a while I forget and disagree with her, but most times I find out she's usually right.
Rose, I know that you enjoy gardening. What would you say is the most romantic flower that Josh might give to his new wife?
Well, I really like the calla lily, but I think just a single, it doesn't have to be a whole bouquet, but just a single flower of anything can be the perfect gift.
And Chuck, because you're on the road so much, is there anything that you can, any advice that you can give to Josh about romantic things he might do while he's traveling?
Romantic thing. I don't know, just call. I try to call every day, or maybe not every day, but.
Okay, thanks.
He's not very romantic on the road in his truck.
Hey, there's the MGM
I
Lion.
was going to say, what is that?
Should have it.
Joe.
John, can you tell Josh your name?
Joshua.
What's your name?
Larry.
Say your name.
John. Larry.
Very good. What do you do, John? What's your job?
On 2 gram and on the hole.
Put it in the hole.
Yeah. Go back and on the hole
Uh-huh.
and go count.
And you count them?
Yeah.
How many do you do a day?
200.
200? My goodness. How old are you, John?
46.
46? My goodness. Do you have any children?
5.
Hi.
No. 12.
12. Oh. Okay.
Fish stories.
What's your favorite color?
Brown.
Brown. What foods do you like to eat?
A pizza.
Pizza. Do you like to sing?
Yeah.
Do you know any love songs that Josh could sing to Lori?
Right.
Would you like to sing one?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Sing in the rain. Gonna sing in the rain.
Thank you, John.
Are we on? Are we on yet?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Could you tell Josh who you are and how you're related to Lori?
I'm Lori's Aunt Diane, Kathy's sister, and this is my husband.
I'm Bill.
How long have you been married, Bill?
7 years.
7
years?
years?
I'm not sure. How many years?
Diane,
10 years this month.
Time flies when you have fun.
what do you do for a living?
She irritates me. We have a convenience store
Okay.
just south of Toledo. It's a family business. It was in my family back since 1904. And it's a convenience store, and we sell meats and ice cream and videos and all kinds of stuff. And we work together.
Do you have any children?
I have one.
And I have 2.
Do you have any grandchildren?
We have what?
4.
4 old girls.
2 boys and 2 girls, and a great-grandchild on the way.
Okay. Diane, what are your hobbies?
Cooking, eating out.
Bill, what do you enjoy to do?
I love to bowl. I love to play golf.
Do you have any advice, Bill, for Josh on how to be a good husband?
Yeah. Put your wife's feelings first. And
That's
that
nice.
will solve most of your problems.
Diane, if Josh were going to take Lori to a romantic place to eat, do you have any suggestions of good places to eat in the area that he might take her to?
Vino's, if you like Italian, is very good. Rossilli's, another Italian place. I guess I like Italian. Has wonderful meals.
And Bill, if they're going to go bowling, where should they go bowling in the area?
In this area?
Yes.
Well, Bowling Green, Varsity Lanes.
Thank you.
Listen to this.
Okay.
Could you tell Josh what your name is and how you're related to Lori?
Hi, Josh. I'm Lori's Uncle Dan. I'm the other Dan.
And what do you do for a living, Dan?
I'm Kathy's older brother, by the way. You said how I'm related. What do I do for a living? I'm a supervisor at a Heinz ketchup factory. In my department, we make the packets for the single-serve ketchup that you get at the drive-through windows at Wendy's and Burger King and all the different restaurants.
Are you married?
Yes.
And your wife's name is?
Deb?
Where's she right now?
She's in Florida taking care of her mother. So
Oh.
she couldn't be here to take part.
How long have you been married?
Let's see, 1974. What does that make it? 30-something years.
32 years.
32 years? Okay, help me out, yeah. Do the math. Yeah,
How many-
32 years this June 18th.
Okay. How many children do you have?
June 8th! God, I said the wrong date. Deb's not going to see this, so it doesn't matter. How many children? We got 6 kids, 4 boys, 2 girls.
Okay. And what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue.
a
And
guy's
what
guy.
food do you hate?
What food do I hate? Of course, all Irish hate cheese, don't they? In my family, we do.
Do you have any hobbies, and what are they?
Oh, jeez, hobbies. Well, I coached softball and baseball for years for my kids,
So sports.
sports, and then I do the announcing for the high school football team here at Lakota.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, I've been doing that for a couple of years. I started out doing junior high games and then JV games, and the other guy that they had problems with his work, so he couldn't be there. So they asked me if I wanted to do it, and so I've been doing the announcing for. I'm the voice of the Lakota Raiders.
Do you have any advice for Josh on how to be a good husband?
Advice on how to be a good
this
husband.
is kind of a question I sprung on you,
Okay. You know, the magic words all men have to know to get along. Yes, dear. I don't know if that makes you a good husband, or at least you don't fight so much.
but what about advice on being a good father?
Boy. Well, don't be too tough on the kids. They're trying just like you are. And we have a good time with the kids in our family. We're not the strictest parents, but I think they've turned out pretty good, and we've kept them busy in sports and what have you. So keep them involved and that kind of thing, I guess.
Okay. I remember a funny story that you told me one time, and I wonder if you could relate it to Josh and Lori,
Okay.
about going skinny dipping when you were young, and you and Chuck were both
Boy,
had
I
girlfriends.
have a hard time remembering that.
Come on.
Well, you know, we used to get in trouble for swimming in the reservoir number 5.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, we got grounded for a week. I think the neighbor guy told Dad about it because we all took life jackets at Franker's barn and walked out through the cornfield back to the reservoir and went swimming in July. It was just like, the water was warm and, you know, we were just out there floating around, so it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
There was no girls involved that time, though.
Oh, but was there a time when there was some girls involved?
We did go skinny dipping when there was a girl with us, but she didn't go in.
Oh, okay.
Joy Smith, daughter of the guy I used to sell sweepers for, that Kirby sweeper guy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Joe Smith. She
Okay.
she didn't want to go in. We didn't care. Just Chuck and I went.
Yeah.
And let's see. One time at Bushy Quarry, some girls were skinny dipping, but it was dark outside. Nobody could see anything, so it really wasn't any fun. We had suits on. That's about all I remember skinny
Oh,
dipping.
okay. All right. Do you have any advice on like a romantic date that Josh might?
I forgot how to have fun, Josh. So
Oh no.
you're probably better at that already than I am. I'm an old married guy. We hardly ever go out. We pretty much sit here and watch TV all weekend and,
Yeah.
you know, rent movies instead of going out.
Yeah.
But every once in a while we'll go to a wedding reception or something and we'll dance. But that's
Okay.
about the extent of our running around.
Yeah.
Our kids laugh at us, so, you know, we go out and embarrass them. That's our job, to embarrass our kids.
I think so. I think so.
And we do a pretty good job.
All right.
Whenever I go to a drive-through window with the boys with me, at like a Burger King, I'll ask them if they know where their ketchup came from, and right away the boys, they roll their eyes and get all embarrassed and shut up. They don't need to know. On our last trip to Florida, I tell the story. We're coming up through the South, I don't know, Georgia somewhere, and we stopped and got something. And it was late at night. We're going just getting going good, maybe 3 or 4 hours, and I says to this lady, and she had a really strong accent. I said, "Do you know where that ketchup came from?" She goes, "Tomatoes." I said, "No, Fremont, Ohio." And the boys were embarrassed. Let's go, let's go. That's all it took.
Okay. Thanks, Dan.
That's it?
That's all.
Done?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, Josh. Bye, Lori.
Would you tell Josh who you are and how you're related to Lori?
Well, I'm Chuck Lowry. This is my wife, Sue Lowry. And I'm Kathy's brother. Lori's uncle. by the way.
Lori's uncle. What do you do for a living, Chuck?
I work at the tank plant, building Army tanks.
Sue, what are you doing right now?
I'm retired from Honeywell, and so I just work part-time at a store, clothes store in Findlay, basically 1 or 2 days a week. And I also help nanny. My daughter Nicole nannies for a doctor in Perrysburg, so usually I have about 2 days a week that I help take care of year-old twins and a 3-year-old. So, keeps me busy.
How long have you been married, Chuck?
They're going on 34 years.
And how many children do you have?
We have 2 children. Jeff's 30 and Nicole's 27.
And you have something exciting that's going to happen soon, right?
Soon to be grandparents.
Soon to be grandparents. First one,
Finally.
Chuck, what's your favorite color?
purple.
And Sue?
Blue.
Blue. And Chuck, what foods do you hate?
Hate.
Broccoli cheddar soup.
Broccoli cheddar soup, cottage cheese, liver.
Sue, do you have anything that you hate?
Can't think of anything at the moment.
What do I hate?
You eat anything, huh?
Yeah, just about. What do I hate? You don't know either?
I don't
must
know.
not hate anything.
Not particularly.
Can't think.
Chuck, what are your hobbies?
I'm a runner. That's my main hobby. That's about all I do is run.
When did you run in last? What race?
Oh, let's see. Last fall, what race? Oh, Niagara Falls Marathon.
And
I've run 15 marathons, so
and how many times have you run the Boston?
4 times.
4 times.
I've run New York Marathon once, Chicago Marathon twice, a bunch of other smaller marathons.
Sue, what are your hobbies?
Bike riding.
Bike riding.
Following Chuck around, I guess.
Falling
A
off
little
your
bit of
bike.
running, yes. Yes.
Chuck, do you have any advice for Josh on how to be a good husband?
Well, communicate, I guess, is a big thing.
Okay.
And you need to have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
Have fun.
You have to have fun together.
Sue, do you
Lots
have?
of laughs.
Do you remember any romantic dates that you and Chuck have gone on that were especially fun? Or trips?
Romantic?
Yeah.
You answered that one.
Wow. I don't know.
That's a tough one.
Most of our trips are not for the romantic thing, they're
Yeah.
for our activities, biking, running.
Yeah.
But whatever happens,
I
happens.
mean, we always
huh?
have fun, yeah.
Yeah. I wondered, I've heard stories about that you know some secluded spots in the area for romance.
That's where that question came from, huh?
You know, if Lori and Josh are visiting anytime in the near future.
Maybe we should say you have to be spontaneous, huh? That's a good one. Be spontaneous, just.
Okay, thank you very much. Hi, can you tell Josh who you are and how you're related to Lori?
Josh, I'm Pam Van Cleve. I'm Lori's aunt, Kathy's sister.
And I'm Jeff Van Cleve, and I'm Pam's husband. And that would make me related to Lori. She'd be my niece. All right, you gotta help me out. I just woke up from a nap, so I'm a little slow.
Jeff, can you tell Josh what you do for a living?
I can. I work for Diebold Incorporated. Diebold is headquartered here in North Canton, known for being the world's largest manufacturer of automated teller machines. And I run the equipment finance company for Diebold. We handle customer financing all over the world, and I also handle all of the resale of our used equipment.
And Pam, what do you do?
Well, I was a business manager for Estee Lauder, and now I'm a regional makeup artist, so I work part-time. I think I worked like 7 or 8 days last month for
How long have you been married, Pam?
22 years. It'll be 23 this August.
And how many children do you have?
Robert's 17 and Hillary's 15. Rob's a senior this year, and Hillary's a freshman.
That's 2. We have 2 children. She didn't really answer the question.
Yes, I did. I said Robert and Hillary.
Right. Ow.
Pam, what's your favorite color?
It's got to be the combo of red and green. That you use that in all my houses.
And Jeff, what is your favorite color?
Today my favorite color is blue. Because Pam has on blue, and she has beautiful blue eyes with little brown specks.
Jeff, do you have any hobbies?
I do. I have several hobbies. I especially love to play golf. I love to exercise. I work out with weights with a trainer. I enjoy that very much. I play around some on the piano, although I'm not nearly as good as my son, who you can hear playing in the background.
And Pam, what kind of hobbies do you enjoy?
I used to do a lot of cross stitching. I did a lot of kids' Christmas stockings. I even did some quilting for gifts. Now I'm more into like doing the artwork or reading, things like that.
Thank you. Jeff, do you have any advice for Josh on how to be a good husband?
All I can say, I guess, is have a lot of patience and understanding, and try to be unselfish, and put your new lovely wife, Lori, put her interests ahead of your own whenever you can, and hopefully you'll be as lucky as I was and stay together a long, long time.
Thank you. Do you have anything that you'd like to share with Lori and Josh?
Oh yeah, we have lots of funny stories. Can we go on and on as long as we want?
Yes, yes you may.
Go right ahead.
I'm going to tell a funny story about
What?
our trip to Grand Cayman. So we can tell it together because Jeff likes to add a little bit here and there. But it was so funny because at the Ritz you get whatever you want. So this one couple, we were talking to them at the spa, and they were saying how they called down to a housekeeper or whatever for some matches. And
Yeah, this is at the Ritz-Carlton in Grand Cayman. We just got back from there. We were there for 5 days.
so they said they waited like 10 minutes, and finally there was a knock at the door, and there was 2 guys standing out in the hallway holding this queen-size mattress. They thought they were asking for a mattress instead of mattress.
That's service. That's service at the Ritz-Carlton. They don't even question what you ask for. They thought they wanted a mattress. They wanted a mattress.
But I have one
Yeah,
other
that was
funny
cute.
story about the Ritz. Getting whatever you want. I woke up in the middle of the night at the Georgetown Ritz, and I had heartburn, and I couldn't fall back asleep. So I thought, this is ridiculous. I'm going to call down to see if they can help me at the front desk. I called down. I said, I know it's 3 in the morning, but can you get me like Tums or something in acid? And they said, oh yes, we'll be right up. So Jeff and I were lucky enough to stay in a suite, so I went down the hallway because there was a doorbell and I didn't want them to wake up Jeff in the other room. So I put a chair right there at the front door, and I kept peeking out the little peephole to see when they were coming so they wouldn't wake up Jeff with the doorbell. And finally I saw this guy in the uniform coming up our hallway, sure looking, from door to door very quizzically. And I thought, oh, he's looking for me. He doesn't, maybe didn't have the door number right, so I opened up the door. I'm sitting there in my robe, and I said, are you looking for me? And he said, no. So I quick shut the door, because I was like, he thinks I'm asking him in. And so just a few minutes later, there's a guy at the door, and he gives me the Tums, and I said, will you please tell the guy who was coming around earlier that I wasn't inviting him in? But yeah, Georgetown Ritz, that was nice.
Thank you guys.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
Can you tell Josh who you are and how you're related to Lori?
Well, hi Josh. I'm Angela. I am Lori's aunt. I am her mother's youngest baby sister, the most spoiledest of the family, I guess.
And what do you do for a living?
I am a registered nurse.
And do you have children?
I have 2 boys. I have a 12-year-old son, LaShan, who acts like he's my father. And I have a 5-year-old who acts like he's his brother's age.
And what is your favorite color?
Ooh, it used to be purple, but now I'm kind of more into red.
And do you have any foods that you hate?
Absolutely hate liver. Can never stomach it. Remember having to sit there for hours at the dinner table when they tried to force me to eat it. I think that's about the only thing that I could not stomach.
Do you have any hobbies?
I collect elephant figurines, and I do a lot of reading, play a little bit of pool, and a lot of karaoke.
And do you have any advice for Josh on how he can be a good husband to Lori?
Listen to your wife. My favorite thing, I keep saying, if I could have told my now ex-husband, to say to me that would have made everything better is, honey, you're right. Just learn that phrase.
And you said you like karaoke. Are there any karaoke songs that Josh might sing to Lori?
Well, I don't know particularly of one that Josh could sing to Lori, but they could sing together. A really good song would be Endless Love. Perfect for a couple getting married.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
Hi, can you tell me who you are and how you're related to Lori?
I'm Laura Unferdorfer, and I'm Lori's aunt, Kathy's sister, and Jim is my husband. Go ahead.
And I have no idea how I'm related to anybody. There's so darn many of you. Who knows?
Jim, what do you do for a living?
What? That's another good one. What do I do for a living? I teach music.
No, to explain more.
That's too complicated.
Laura, what do you do for a living?
I'm a teacher, and I teach special needs preschool in a public school. And I have 3 to 5-year-olds, and some of them have things like autism or other kinds of handicaps or just speech problems, and try to get them ready for kindergarten and be successful.
Jim, how long have you been married?
25 years this June.
And Laura, do you have children?
I've been married 25 years.
This time.
We have 2 children. Andy is a sophomore in college and in computers, and Beth is a sophomore in high school, and she's into music and wants to be a band director too.
Go ahead.
Jim, what's your favorite color?
He's colorblind.
I'm colorblind. So that's a really hard one to answer. If I recognize it, I like it.
Okay. Laura, what is your favorite color?
It changes. I think blue.
Okay. Jim, are there any foods that you hate?
Any
Foods?
foods? I thought you said flutes. Yes, lots of flutes that I hate. Foods that I hate. Generally anything that's green, but then I don't recognize the color anyway, so I eat them.
Okay. Laura?
You wanted humor. You got it.
Are
Same
there
question?
Any, same question.
It's like a dating game or something. Foods that I hate. What do I hate? I know I do, but I just went blank.
Rice.
Rice. I eat it, but I hate it.
Laura, what are your hobbies?
I do a lot of cross stitch. My whole house is full of cross stitch pictures, and I sew, and I like to read. And is that it? I think that's it.
Much.
Jim, what are your hobbies?
I'm kind of into breathing. I enjoy that. I like music, like making music, and especially like making music with my kids. We've been doing that forever, and I like woodworking.
We built bird feeders this summer.
I built bird feeders this summer,
last summer.
and I like photography, and now I take pictures of the birds that come to the bird feeders.
Oh, that's nice. Do you have any advice for Josh on how to be a good husband?
See, you even warned me you were going to ask me that, and how to be a good husband. Well, it depends on how you define good husband. How do I answer that?
Laura, how is Jim a good husband?
There you go. Well, we spend a lot of time together, and we talk a lot, and it's hard to say how to be a good husband. I think it's so mutual that it's how we are together, but I think that we are very good about not saying hurtful things to each other. We are respectful of each other, and even to other people we don't talk down about our spouse. We try to focus on more of the positive things.
Respect.
Yeah.
That's nice. Jim, I know that you like music, and
Nat King Cole would be fine. Don't go to Tchaikovsky's First Piano Concerto too soon. If you want a nice long evening, Rachmaninoff Symphony No. 2.
thank you. Hi, can you tell me who you are and how you're related to Lori?
I'm Kathy's sister, and therefore Lori's aunt.
And your name?
Annette Unferdorfer.
My name is Tom, Kathy's brother-in-law. So that would make me
Lori's uncle.
Lori's.
Tom, what do you do for a living?
I'm a parts manager at a Chrysler dealership.
And Annette, what do you do for a living?
I'm a physical therapist.
And how long have you been married?
Too long.
21.
Almost, yeah. 21 years.
Do you have children?
Yes, we do. Chelsea is 14. It should be 15 this month. And Cody is 12.
Tom, what's your favorite color?
Red.
Annette, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue.
It's not
Tom, do you have a food that you hate?
food that I hate. Nothing that comes to mind. I mean, I don't. How about anything spicy?
Anything
I don't like
spicy.
spicy food.
Okay. Annette, do you have a food that you hate?
Liver.
Liver. That's the second time tonight we've heard that.
We had to eat it when we were young.
Tom, do you have any advice for Josh on how to be a good husband?
Always say yes, dear.
That's not the first time we've heard that either.
No.
Annette, do you have any qualities that you find in your husband that would be good for Josh to show to Lori?
Humor.
Humor.
Always have humor.
Okay. Do you remember any romantic dates when you were dating that you'd like to share with Lori and Josh?
No. Before we were married, you're saying?
Yes.
Couldn't afford it.
Couldn't afford any.
No.
Before we were married.
And
Our-
go ahead.
I was just going to say how our courtship was long distance, so we tended to just spend a weekend together.
Do you have any hobbies in it?
Gardening, landscape.
And because you like flowers and gardening, is there a type of flower that you really like that Josh could bring to Lori that you think is romantic?
Shoot. Well, my preference is just like the variety kind of bouquets.
Like wildflowers
Not one,
maybe, or-
yeah, just multicolor, multi-variety of texture and
Weeds.
shape.
She doesn't like the weed at all, so. Weeds. Don't give me that look.
Tom, do you have any hobbies?
No.
None?
I just like to tinker with anything with an engine, cars specifically, but
Is there any car that you think is a very cool car that would be cool to take someone out on a date in? Maybe an older car that...
now kids' chip tastes, so they have changed dramatically from when I grew up, so I should say it has to be a Chrysler product, but
The new Charger.
Let's go on a date. To me, any of the older muscle cars from the 60s would be
Okay.
great, but
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, would you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
I am Carol Gruce, and I'm Kathy's sister, and I'm Lori's aunt.
And
And I'm Joe, and I'm married to it.
And how long have you been married?
It'll be 25 years this November.
How many of those years were good years?
I think probably about the first 6.
Do you have children?
Yes, we have one daughter, and she's 19. Her name is Jennifer.
Oh, and what do you do for a living, Carol?
I am a laboratory technician in a private laboratory. I run samples, patients' blood and urine, and we do chemistry and hematology.
Too much information.
Tell us more about the urine.
no, Joe, tell us what you do.
Do you do anything with urine?
No, I don't. I pass a little. I'm a project manager for basically a heavy equipment manufacturer, so that's what I do.
And your hobbies?
Your hobbies, dear?
I enjoy reading romances and mysteries, and I have really gotten into making baskets. I enjoy that very much.
My hobby is making my wife happy.
Yay!
No, I'm a I would say amateur handyman. I like tinkering around the house, do-it-yourself projects, things like that. So that's my hobby.
So you'd be able to go to Lori and Josh's and help them around the house, fix and do.
Depending
Yeah,
on what
just
they
run
have
down to
done.
Texas.
Yeah, I'll just hop on a plane.
Okay. How about favorite movie or book?
Oh my. Favorite movie?
Or author?
Favorite country music artist?
Let's see,
I enjoy mysteries, and one of the mystery authors that I've read a lot of is Diane Mott Davidson, and she's a caterer in her books, so there's a lot of recipes and talk about food preparation and that type of thing. I really enjoy that.
my favorite movie. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't like I don't like real scary movies. I'm more, I guess, of a closet romantic. I hate to say that, but so I like love stories if they're not too mushy. So that's kind of. So Breakfast at Tiffany's is one of my favorites.
Oh, that's a great one.
So.
Hey, Carol, what advice would you give Lori on how to be a good wife?
Compromise. I think that that's a very important trait, to be able to compromise, do things that he would like to do some of the time, and what you would like to do some of the time.
I would have to say that that's probably a pretty good compromise. It's a case of, I think, giving each other a little space. So, I mean, you do a lot of things together, but, you're not connected at the hip, so it's kind of, letting each other do a little bit of things they want to do, but also doing things that are nice for one another. I think that's a big part of it. So.
Well,
favorite vacations or favorite meals?
Oh, we took a cruise for our 20th wedding anniversary, and that was probably one of my favorite vacations. Just relaxing and having good food and just being able to enjoy each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say when I go on vacation, I like to go really nice. So we had gone to Florida, and we ate at Emeril's restaurant in Universal City. That was nice because it's kind of real classy. So I like going to those kind of places where it's a little bit classy and just do things you wouldn't normally do day to day. So questions.
Jim, I know you have some questions.
Tell us about your first date.
Oh my. It was pretty much a blind date. His sister set us up, and we went to a wedding reception, and I sat very quietly, and Joe talked to all of his friends and his sister and his best friend, and
That was back in 30-06. No, it was one of my classmates, or two of my classmates got married. So it'll be, our first date was 30 years. It'll be next
September
year.
9th.
Next year it'll be 30 years. So I've known her a long time.
You picked her up in the buggy?
Yeah, I did. The horses were skittish then.
I know Dan had a buggy in his first date with Kathy. That goes even back further. I have a question. Have you ever read The Cement Tent?
Pardon me?
The book, The Cement Tent.
Have I ever read that?
Yes.
The Cement Tent.
No, tell us about it.
It was Lori's favorite book when she was little.
Ah.
The cement?
The wind came, the wind went.
The wind came, the wind went, the tent stayed.
Yay, cement!